the big sell-off yesterday in gold, and I said I think we're ready.
Looks like we got a lake we're coming up to. We'll see how nice it is.
A major bounce back the next day, and it really depends. Right now, gold's either.
Well, that's real nice. Guess we're going back a different way. I'm not going to go Mount Wilson or Lake Wilson. Temperatures increased to 84 degrees. We're looking at total traveled. Let's see here. It's flipped over again, as you can see. Showing 55 miles again, or I'm at 55, so you take that and rolled over twice. So we traveled 2,055 miles in 6 days. If it sounds like I got a lot of wind in my deal, it's only because I put the deflector down, put a lot of air on me and stuff. At 84, I start getting a little bit warm, so that's helping a lot. I think I'm good. Once it gets about 87, 88, I'll be ready for a wet coat underneath my protective jacket. I borrowed Sherman's air pillow. I guess they make them for motorcycles to sit on. And before I was having just a little bit, you know, you get over 100 miles, your butt kind of gets a little bit sore. And we've went over 100 already, and I'm feeling pretty good. Well, not 100%, but I'm probably about, on a scale of 1 to 10, 3 is probably about my pain level, which is just noticeable. Whereas before it was getting there. Anyway, like I said, it's corn as far as the eye can see. We're probably about under 200 miles left of Wichita. We elected to take the roads less traveled to enjoy the trip and the scenery. Once I get up to these roads up here, I'll go ahead and Highway 40 all the way up to Springerville, Arizona, because, man, it's a nice road. It's like being on those mountain roads back there in South Dakota. I couldn't stop recording because every inch of it was just absolutely marvelous. Back at Mount Wilson Lake. Don't look like it'd be too great to be out there with all the whitecapping going on, but we passed it on the way going. Guess we're gonna pull off for a minute. Notice one thing about this lake. The dam's on the north side, and in the summertime you always get the wind from the south. So you're always going to have all that white capping and all that crap. So you don't get a reprieve from it unless you can get in a cove somewhere and find some smooth water. So yeah. We're 70 now. Heading towards Salina. Got a lot of windmills up here. Gee whiz. Anyway, there was another route we wanted to take, but we remembered that the bridge was out. That was that one coming up that we going down the road, and it's like, oh crap. Bridge is out. We had to backtrack about 15 miles. So anyway, I'm trying to do my best to stay with Jim. He's doing about 82 miles an hour. I go a little faster. There's places where I'm doing 85, 90, but anyway, I'll record for about 5 minutes and then show you what Salina looks like when we get there, if that's where we're going. I just never know. Sometimes they change their mind in the middle of things. Picked up a lot of bugs along the way, so my windshield needs cleaned. Probably got about a 25 to 30 mile an hour crosswind, so that's why the bike's leaning a little bit. My FJR I used to have, man, if I was in winds like this, it'd be almost blowing me off the road. But this Goldwing weighs almost 1,000 pounds, and I lean into the wind a little bit, but it doesn't affect me near that as much as that my other bike did. Yeah, this will be the highway next spring. I guess it'll be next spring. I'll go up to Idaho. 70 that way, and then I'll get off at Colby before I cross into the Colby, Kansas, before I cross into the Colorado, which is just before that. Denver really bites at any given time going through there. The traffic is horrendous. You're like stop and go for like 40, 50 miles. So I can take Colby, go north. Takes me up to 80. Dumps me into just to the east of North Platte where we spent the night. Then I just follow straight across, and then I can stay at an Air Force base in Cheyenne. So I think I'll pull it back a little bit. I'm getting a little too close. Degrees. About 2,150 miles so far. Guess we're stopping in here. Maybe this is a place to eat or something. Now we're just stopping. I guess we're not going to Salina. Check that. Okay, camera going off. Alright, we're to the end of our adventure. The McDonald's over on the left was where we got breakfast when we left 6 days ago. This is Hutchinson. Sherman just went on down the road. Well, I guess he's turning off over here too for some reason. He's heading off down 235. I'm going to follow Jim to Cheney because it's a better route for me to go back to Derby. I guess I could go down 96, but I like this other way. But we stopped underneath the bridge there, said our goodbyes, talked about getting together sometime in a month or two, start planning next year's event. Kind of talking Grand Canyon, let's see what's some other stuff. Anyway, a bunch of stuff that direction. Monument Valley, Four Corners. That's going to be a lot longer ride than this one was. We'll have to plan it to where it's later in the year, so because it gets hot over that way. Yeah, I'll be posting that picture under the bridge on Facebook, and I'll start figuring out my YouTube page for all my trips and stuff. I'm gonna purchase a couple of GoPros, maybe another helmet, and get Cardon Pack Slim. So I have a couple of ways of being able to video things and communicate. But yeah, this was, I just can't get over how much fun this was. So if you follow my part of my video and see where we stayed, you can get a lot of stuff cheap as chips. And remember how I explained what I meant by cheap as chips. I spent time in England, and so that chips is French fries. They call them chips. And then you say, well, what do they call potato chips if they call that chips? I say, well, they call those crisps. What do they call a cookie? A biscuit. Well, what do they call a biscuit? And I can't remember what the biscuit's called in Britain. So, yeah. But anyway, rule of thumb was you always gotta try and, this slowest speed's fine to be about this far from the other motorcycle, but when you're doing 70, 75, I always count off all the way to 10. That gives me exactly the distance that comes out to, you know how you go 1,000, 1,002 for a car length, right? Well, if you count all the way to 10, that gives you a car length basically, or a little more than that, car and a half length. So that puts you out an equal amount of distance, because there's times where, because I can't communicate with these guys because I don't have my Senna won't match to theirs. So when they start braking, I better be on my toes, because I'll tell you what, you'll be right on their rear end real quick. Nothing worse than running the back end of somebody, especially a friend. Well, US 54, 21 miles. Then we'll cross over 54 to Cheney. But anyway, some of you that used to ride say 20, 30 years ago, you probably think, well, I'm just too old now to do that sort of thing. Hogwash. It's been like 23 years since I last rode, and 23, maybe 25. For some reason, I just got the bug again, and I just really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more today than back when I was younger. Great bunch of guys, like I said, Jim Perkins and Sherman Anderson, and they're the guys who came over with Beechcraft over to our service center, and they work on all the Beechcraft airplanes. Jim's about 2 years out from retirement. Sherman's probably got another 12, 14 more years. And anyway, it's been good. Instead of going by myself all the time, I've got others to chum around with. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to make sure that you had a feeling of what it was like on some of these roads. Like I said, if you don't ride motorcycles, just go there anyway. They got those four-wheelers to rent. You can really have a fun time, almost like you're in a motorcycle, but you're on four wheels. So get up there and enjoy it. Biggest time to go up there is just right the last 2 or 3 days of Sturgis, because the prices of hotels drop significantly about that time, and because you can ride around all those roads, and then you got like hundreds of thousands of motorcycles either coming up behind you or passing you or whatever. It's the coolest thing ever. It's like sometimes a wave of water. So, you know, like a big wave of motorcycles. Nothing looks more cooler than that. So, put it on your calendar for next year, last weekend, which is around the 16th or 14th of August. You can still get in there and get a couple of t-shirts. That's the other thing too, is their t-shirts, they go down in value like 50% or more. So I picked up 2 t-shirts and a hat, and probably paid probably 35-40% of what they cost when Sturgis first opened up. So, alrighty, well, I can see up in the distance that one tower, and I believe that is Cheney. I'll pass Jim on the way through Cheney, and then I'll head home. My wife said that she thinks I'd be home at 4, be more closer to probably about 20 after 5. Bring my music down. We finally made it to Cheney. Jim is behind me. You can see in my mirror, you can see his lights. That's where he lives. I'll just give the high five, hand up, and he'll head off to his house. Cheney would probably be a better place for me to live anyway, because the lake's right there, and I could take the boat right out there without having to go so far. But anyway, I'm going to go down the end of this road. I'll get on MacArthur and call it. And then I won't be coming up again until about rolling to the driveway. So that was a fun ride, and all good things got to come to an end. That's the Cheney Golf Course right there. Seems to be a pretty nice golf course. I don't have a video of that, so I thought I'd video that for you. So, anyway, I'll just video to the end of this where I turn on MacArthur, and then I'll shut down, and then that'll be it. I'm still on the same SD card, surprising enough, and yeah. One of the things we lucked out was we had a little bit of rain going and a little bit coming back, and a bird strike, of course. And Jim, you know, he did lay his bike over, unfortunately, and scratched it up pretty good. And then I guess he missed the route to one of the roads and kind of went off the road a little bit, but he kept it together. I didn't get it on video, but I'm sure he wouldn't want that anyway. So, well, Jim, if you hear this part of it and everything, you're a good man. Sherman, you hear this, you're a good man as well. Good friends always. Hope we get together with more rides. It won't be this long, but we'll ride more before the end of the year. Have a good one, y'all, and I'll sign off one last time. Well, the cows, it must be hot out. Cows are standing in the water. I wonder if they drink their own water they lay in. Let's see. It's 81 degrees, I can't complain. Okay, this is MacArthur right here. Got my blinker on. This one will take us past Winfield Lake. You've already seen that. So no reason to redo it over. If you don't know what it is, then you can look at my past videos that I'll load up. Alright, shutting down on the camera side, and then I'll come up the last couple miles to Derby.